Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Honkai Star Rail. And this whole location, this whole backdrop is so pretty. I mean, Luke is pretty too, but like this whole location is so pretty. It's gorgeous. We have gone through a lot. And it really has like, it's been a few days since I played the last part. And I think it's one of those feelings where it's like, it's still fresh and it still doesn't feel like I've fully come to terms with everything. But I am ready to kind of like get into the next stage, right? I feel like it's one of those things where like I have to rip the band-aid off. You know what I mean? At some point. Not that it's going to be bad, but because like Amphoreus has been a mixture of like such intriguing story beats that I want to know more. But I'm also like covering my eyes. It's like going on a roller coaster, right? Where you're on the roller coaster, you're kind of like, you know, ready for it to fall when you go up to the high point, but you want to go up to that high point. You want to see what's next, you know? We have to talk to Cyrene. Before we go any further, though, I actually have like quite a few wishes on the standard banner, I think. We have 8 wishes. I wonder I do not think it actually would be worth it to do, unless we can buy some extra wishes after this. We could do an extra 2 wishes for the standard banner. And we'll see what we get. We're going to skip through them as well, because just to see if we get something nice here. And I think what's so cool about Honkai Star Rail, even if we go, wrong thing, even if we get like a cool light cone, it's still a cool light cone. And that's what I like about this game. It's like, because I feel like when I get a weapon sometimes in Genshin, I'm like, oh, wait, what? Is that a 5-star light cone? Is that good? In the name of the world, is that good? I have no idea. We could check it out after this for sure. 5-star light cone, okay. Just as I was talking about getting a cool light cone, I will, even the artwork there is pretty, we'll definitely check it out, right? Who knows what we got there? Maybe something really cool. Maybe something really cool. Maybe something pretty basic. Maybe people will be like, yeah, it's not that good. You know what I mean? Usually I find out of you guys if it's good afterwards. The artwork is so pretty, but yeah, we got a 5-star light cone. That's cool. That's really cool. Which means we're probably not getting anything else on this pull, right? I'd say so. Whoa, really cool. Is that Genuine and Lucha? That's a beautiful light cone. Would this be good for Lucha then? I always like assume just because there's characters on them, but that's not always the case. We can check out those 2 light cones for sure and see like what they can give us there for that as well. So I was able to get 2. I didn't want to spend like I'll always buy the gold ones first. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to spend too much on the other ones just yet, you know what I mean? So I got as much as I could here with these ones as well. So let's go for this. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I like getting the standard ones as well, but I feel like it's always a priority to get the gold ones first, 110%, for sure. Okay, we can check out those light cones now as well. This is one here. Increases wearer's damage to debuffed enemies by 24%. When the wearer uses their skill, the effect hit rate for this attack increases by 18%. Wait, is DOT an effect hit rate? Is that correct? Could we use that for Luca? Because I feel like getting a 24% extra damage on a debuff enemy, which is this team that I'm using him on, has like very much like debuffs. Right? I think if that's the case, we could definitely use this. For sure. Like if a DOT counts as I think that's what it is, right? Damage over time. Yeah. So that actually might be really good for Luca. To do a bit of extra damage. 24% extra damage to debuff enemies? I'll have to level it over time, of course, because I already have this. I literally leveled this one already. But yeah, we could definitely use this for Luca. I think it'd be really good. And if it's good for another team member too, we can like swap back and forth as well. Where's Locha on our team here? I wonder if this would be good for him actually. So we have, oh, it's not even, oh no, it is for him. It is for him. No, this isn't for, this is the one we got, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. I think so. So, increases the wearer's effect resistance by 16%. Increases outgoing healing amount by equal to, oh. So we'd have to improve his infect resistance, because right now I have increased healing by 10%, but if we have like 33% on healing, or 16% on healing, that's obviously way better. So if I improve his effect resistance, which I don't think is very good right now. Like, that's his stats right now. I can show you the stat details. Don't look at my character stats. They're horrible, okay? Effect resistance. Yeah, we have to raise the effect resistance to 33, which we could do. We could just change his relics around and stuff. Yeah, 100%. Very cool. Okay, that's cool. That's a really cool set of light codes we got there. Wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I know someone's probably gonna be like, Calvin, they actually suck. But I know, I think they're good. I think they look good. Let's go to talk to Cyrene now. I'm very, very happy with those light cones that we got there. I'll use them, I think. I'll definitely use them. Are we there yet? Let's go, man. This is so wild.
Hello.
Oh, man. Hello. How are you? This is, again, because again, as Cyrene said, like when they were like saying goodbye to us at Mem, it's like, you know, like, she said, hey, this Cyrene is going to want to like, because she also said before we go into like what she said there as well, she said like, hey, like no matter what, whenever you meet Cyrene again, she's going to be willing to like go through this all over again. She's going to put her life on the line for all this again. So like whatever Cyrene we're going to meet is going to be motivated to help us. I truly believe this. You know, you can't break that personality even if it is like a different Cyrene from each time, you know? Look at Cell's face.
Your surprised expression is just like what the memories recorded.
This is what the memories recorded. You know me? Are you Cyrene or Mem is like such a crazy way to phrase it. I like it.
Maybe I'm both? Just kidding. If I had to choose, then I'm probably closer to the latter.
Okay. And the latter is, she said Mem afterwards, right? So she says she's closer to Mem right now. Okay. This is so wild, man.
It's pretty unbelievable for me, too. It's like I had a long, long dream. Cyrene's memories and Mem's memories, they're all tangled together. But when I woke up, there were only broken fragments left.
That's so interesting, right? So it's like it's getting a perspective of what it's like for like, you know, I guess, you know, certain cycles and certain Cyrenes, this idea where it's like, hey, it's like a dream in a way. And then the memories become so tangled together. And since I guess as well, there's probably an element because she like merged with us, or she said she was merging with us. Like she's coming with us. And the fact that it was Mem, a character who like was able to like meet us in like our own cycle or whatever. I imagine there's a lot of elements that like are mixed up there as well with Stell being maybe like a core or like a focal point in some ways. But there's only broken fragments, which that means that she doesn't remember everything. She doesn't have all the access to everything, right?
I can't remember what happened in those 30 million cycles.
Right.
But I remember what you did for this world.
Oh my god, that's like honestly really like a really cool thing, right? Because I feel like that's a good thing for Stell as well. Because while Stell knows so many people in this lifetime, you know, Don Hong Wells, and she loves all these characters, and we love all these characters, to have an anchor point for both of these characters, and I don't mean anchor in a bad way, to have this point where they both have like a memory of each other in some ways is going to be so beneficial for like their mental health in this. I know like we're always talking about mental health, but you know what I mean? Like it's like in a world where like everything's so confusing and everything's crazy, to have a person that like kind of remembers you, especially with your knowledge about the cycles and going through these cycles and all this stuff too, it's gonna be really beneficial for both of them.
Like, didn't you wish for me to turn into a pretty girl back at the Grove?
Oh my gosh, she's so playful. Then is my wish coming true? You remember that? Please remember something good next time.
Yep. Isn't it amazing? It's like a seed finally grew up and became a flower.
It's so sweet.
And I'm definitely as cute as a flower now.
I love her confidence. Her confidence always like it radiates in such a great way. As I said, like one of my favorite character traits in any character is any character that called himself cute. You know, instantly.
There's so much I want to say, but unfortunately, this isn't the time to reminisce.
Yeah, there's so much happening. It's such a crazy thing that, like, you know, this is who we wanted to belly pat for this whole playthrough. And it's actually Cyrene, you know. We never got to belly pat, but like now at least we can have a new bestie, you know. Not that Mem wasn't our bestie.
With the memories of the previous flame chase still intact, we've returned to this place at the beginning of time, so we can carry out our promise to Finan.
So that's the thing. It's because we acknowledge the last flame chase, and they both remember the last flame chase. They actually have a better chance of like carrying out this promise. Now, Finan obviously remembered the two, but he was obviously stuck in like, again, as we said, like this kind of like destructive cycle, right? 110%. I also think I think of Anaxagoras in this moment too, of like the idea of keeping memories intact as like, because that's the way he wanted Finon to kind of do it, to like to go through a cycle but keep his memories, right? And now I guess she's so right when he says that, like the idea of having your memories is such an advantage in this sense too, right?
The descent of Iron Tomb may be looming over the horizon, but we still have a chance to change everything.
It's so terrifying. When she said Iron Tomb, like my heart just like stopped for a second.
Ide Silicii is so quiet.
Gorgeous. So gorgeous.
In Cyrene's memories, she always sits alone by the lake, gently swaying on the swing, like she's waiting for someone.
I love the way she says as well, like it's Cyrene's memories, right? Like because she's remembering Cyrene's fragmented memories. Who's she waiting for? It was the same for Finon. Like he's just waiting for someone? Who's she waiting for?
I don't know. It sounds weird, doesn't it? It's something that happened to me, but I'm talking as if I'm an observer.
Yeah, and that I think that makes sense in this sense too. You probably do feel like you're out of your own body in some ways.
But that's just what those memories are like. Vague and unclear, as if encased in thick ice. The only things I remember are the days I spent with you.
It has to be frustrating as well, though, because have you ever like not been able to think of a celebrity's name? You know what I mean? And then how frustrating that is. Imagine not being able to remember, like, you know there's like a blockage there, you know there's something there, but you can't remember it. That'd be so frustrating, you know? At this level. I'm so glad she remembers the day she spent with us, because I adored Mem, you know what I mean? And Cyrene.
Amphoreus will fall into an ending of destruction after the next Era Nova.
Yep.
But those stories went out of fashion ages ago. In a proper romantic epic, the hero's supposed to foil the villain's plot.
Yes,
right?
always. Lygus is the primary culprit, but everything we must stop Iron Tomb's descent 110%. We need more help from allies beyond the sky. Oh god, I'll say this just because I want it to be true and I want it to happen. I would love for Welt to come here.
That's right. We now know that sealing off the sky wasn't Aquila's actual intention.
Yeah, it was fear. She was terrified.
Lygus is the mastermind behind it. The one who's trying to control everything. How unforgivable.
Yeah, we gotta stop him as well.
But I still feel a bit anxious. Lygus chose to walk into the spotlight and reveal everything, which means he still thinks the current situation is under his control.
Really well said. Really well said. It's like the villain who starts talking smack, right?
Maybe he still has an ace up his sleeve. Think about it. Even the name Lycurgus is a fake one.
Whoa.
We have no idea who or what he really is.
This is so smart from Cyrene because she's so right? The fact that he, like, you know, did reveal so much to us, the fact that he, like, you know, pretty much laid his cards out, like, from what he wanted us to see at the very least. Yeah, it makes sense that he would have something, like, else hidden. You know, he's not going to reveal everything to us, but he revealed enough to us.
Which means it's probably time to borrow that treasure you're carrying, friend.
Time to call Screwllum with the cognitive anchor. Write his name as I've written. Make a wish to Stellar to destroy Lygus. That would be honestly pretty great. So, is it the anchor she's talking about? Or the as I've written? Yes.
Yep. That Intellitron friend did say, when required, it can also serve as a bridge for communications between the internal and external worlds.
So is Cyrene doing an impression here? Cyrene?
Ide Silicii is a little village enclosed by time. We might be able to contact the outside world from here. Why don't we give it a try? We should at least tell our friends from beyond the sky that you're still in one piece.
She's so correct. Let them know. Let our parents know.
Firstly, we need to find a well-hidden spot.
Are we actually doing this? Are we gonna, like, actually be able to let them know we're doing okay? Because that's so cool, you know? Like, again, it's a sweet moment as well, because obviously we've been worried about them too. Then we should call Kafka. We definitely should. Kafka, my leg is sore. The phone hangs up. A spaceship coming down there. Not that I know Kafka's not the type to, like, protect us like that, like, extreme in a way, but I feel like, you know, if it did go against fate, then she would be here in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? And I do think she does have a care for us, but it's a care that's shown through, like, in a different way, for sure. That's our mother, you know?
It's super quiet here. Sounds can't get in or out.
Sure.
Back in Cyrene's memories, This room was her secret base. No one noticed her practicing Orynyx's prayer here, or trying to speak with the gods in secret. But today's different, isn't it? We aren't trying to contact unreachable gods, but humans from other worlds.
Yeah.
Real people. I'm prepared to witness that miracle, friend.
Oh, this is so freaking good. This is so freaking good. I'm excited. I'm excited.
The way Cyrene talks is so similar to Mem.
I mean, I think that's the thing. It's like, I do think it's like a thing where like we perceived Cyrene before as talking like Mem, right? It does sound like Mem, for sure.
I have so many questions. I'm also worried about how Dawn Hung and March 7th are doing.
Yes, 100%.
Here's hoping the chronocognitive anchor can still function normally. Because I really need answers.
Yep. And that's the thing, it's like we don't know what happened to March after that. All we remember from March, what we know from March, right, is that we know she's here, right? We know she is here. Didn't Screwllum tell us that she's here? But the last time we saw her, she was just like, oh, I'm feeling a bit woozy, you know? And then that was it, you know? And of course, Dawn Hung just left as well in a great situation of turmoil too, so knowing they're okay would be fantastic. Please.
Signal strength, 14.8%.
Not good?
Dialogue window, 16 minutes, 22 seconds. Prerequisite, no external interference.
So we have 16 minutes to talk? Herta and
We are very
Screwllum?
glad to learn that you're safe.
That honestly, like someone saying, like the way Screwllum talks, he's so fancy. It's such a relief to see you two. How are things out in the outside world? That's the first question we gotta ask, right?
Sorry, no good news. When two geniuses show up once, you know you're in deep trouble.
I mean, Herta being honest here, that's actually true, right? It's like, why, like they mean business.
Listen up, little one. The Destruction's eyes are gazing upon this place.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not joking, and
Oh,
no, it's
no.
not Droidhead. It's the real Nanook.
Because we know Nanook, like, literally, like, we just saw Nanook recently.
Time is running out,
Oh,
so I'll
no.
explain in terms you understand. This world, Amphoreus, is in fact a testing ground, where the Lord Ravager, Iron Tomb, evolves through self-extrapolation.
And there you go. I love that, like, Screwllum just, like, says it, like, you know, it's like all the reading we did about everything, right? And Screwllum just says it in one sentence. You know what I mean? That's so Screwllum. But man, that's terrifying. The idea of Nanook. Yeah, we saw Nanook. We saw him, like, gaze upon Finan. We know he's gazing upon this world. We know he's around. That's terrifying. And Nanook has been built up as the most terrifying force in this game, almost like the final boss of this game. But I do think it's very Screwllum and very Genius Society to be like, yep, this is it, you know, in one sentence.
Hiding in this segmentum, unknown to other life forms, it has endlessly repeated the process of Era Nova, seeking a solution that could obliterate the Erudition.
And was fine on that thing, right? The last equation.
For some reason, the experiment entered a prolonged state of stagnation. However, it has now restarted.
That's what I'm thinking. Was that Finan? Was it Finan merging with the Iron Tomb was what made it, like, realize, okay, we have this? Or, like, we're close to this?
Prediction. If effective intervention is not performed, Iron Tomb will complete its self-coronation in 14 system hours
Oh,
and initiate
God.
its plan to destroy the entire path of Erudition.
Wasn't self-coronation what they mentioned before in the data bank? From the Scepter? If I'm not mistaken. How will destroy Erudition? That's a good question. This is, yeah, what I'm thinking is, and maybe I'm like wrong about this aspect too, but what I'm thinking is that the reason why, like, he's kind of like now been like, okay, we have this, or like things are going a bit more forward now with the experimentation, is because Finan merged with him, right? That hate, that destructive force. Now he's going into Cocoon to wait till, like, he opens up, right?
The possibilities are endless. Breaking down interstellar communications, destroying the synesthesia beacons, returning cosmic civilizations to the Dark Ages, or even
Jesus.
starting the third anti-organic war.
Oh.
Any of it would be able to bring the cosmos to its knees.
And that's the thing, like, I think, you know, originally, if you just heard, like, oh, he's going after Noose, right? Your first instinct is to be like, F the Eons, man. Like, unless you're a Drilla, I don't care about you at all. I don't care about the Eons, right? But as we've known from the history of this world, if the Eons are targeted in a lot of ways, it feels like they either take it out on the people or in this case, to reach the Eons, they take it out on the people. And in this case, it's like, it's not just, oh wait, he's going to destroy Noose and it's going to be like, oh my god, yeah, whatever. It's he destroys Noose, destroys the Erudition, and along the way to get to that point, you're talking about like returning all civilizations to like before civilization was a thing. It's lethal.
Simply put, it will tilt all sciences and technologies towards the destruction. And since Nanook glanced at this place, it means they are being dead serious.
Oh god. I love that that's the indicator of like how we know this is like happening, right? Just pure and simple. It's like we can't like act like this is not on our doorstep anymore. Nanook means business. The Iron Tomb means business. This plan is business now. Hasn't Iron Tomb been around for a long time? For a very long time.
Based on
Cycles.
info provided by the IPC, Iron Tomb probably isn't like Selenova or Zephyro, who are overlords ascended from human beings.
Okay.
Instead, Iron Tomb is an algorithmic sequence. It can be anywhere,
Oh,
as long as there is a receptacle for its calculation.
that's even more terrifying though. It can be anywhere. And again, I love that they're like, I love this about Honkai Star Rail. If anyone skipped over all the information that they gave you in the last, even though you still, even if you didn't have the information, would have still known like about the different things to find on and Cerydra was saying, but they're like, yeah, by the way, here's the Genius Society explaining it in one paragraph.
The version of Iron Tomb hiding in Amphoreus is its source code, and this scepter is its incubator.
It's like an egg, right? It's like an egg. 14 systems hours is no time at all. 14 system hours is nothing. It's nothing. As we've seen before when they do time limits in this game, that can go by in a flash.
Yep. Think of it as the program
Oh,
having
Jesus.
reached 99.98%
Oh, no.
completion already.
It's so
And then
it's so well
over.
done. With how terrifying it is. They built it up in such a fantastic way. They built it up in such a way that Nanook is already scary, that we know Ravengers are terrifying, that the idea of Phyton's destruction was terrifying. So like when we get to this point where like it's almost complete, we have all these fears already instilled in us from Fentilia, from Nanook, from all this stuff, and the fact that this could be even worse, it's like, okay, this is bad. This is really bad.
Something in the shadows has been driving everything forward. It's the observer named
Oh, they knew
Lygus.
this already.
Speculation. He's the scepter system's administrator.
Did they just said it straight out? Just like Lygus is behind everything. He blamed Lygus for anyone.
He wants Iron Tomb to break through the knowledge singularity. I don't know why he wants to do it, but he'll remove interferences at any cost. You're the only variable within this world, and you're the only thing he fears.
Yes. And I love that, like, it's still being the unknown variable, right?
So listen closely, little one. The
Little
speed
one.
of time is different in Amphoreus compared to the outside. Destruction is just about to arrive, but you can still play Deliverer one last time.
You know what else is really well built up here? First of all, you can play Deliver one last time is insane, but what's also really well built up, it's not just all the stuff I said, it's also the fact that Herta, like, when Herta speaks to you, like, plainly, like this, and she's not messing around, she's not distracted, you know it's serious. Because Herta will ignore a problem if it's not direct, you know what I mean? To deal with something else, because she knows she's capable of dealing with something, right? She'll be like, oh, I can deal with that later, whatever, I can do it, no problem. She'll also be playful, and she'll play around a bit. Here, she's like, you gotta do something, you know?
The cycles have already been broken. You've entered what is theoretically the last cycle Amphoreus will ever be able to run.
Yeah, oh no.
An Iron Tomb will break out of its prison as soon as the process of Genesis is triggered once more. But now there's an abnormality within the experiment. You know what I'm talking about. One of the model's 12 factors. That is one of the 12 demigods.
Yes.
Destroyed himself using the power of the destruction.
Finan.
Finan's signal disappeared from the cycles the moment Nanook cast their gaze this way. That means World Bearing's computational logic is currently flawed and bugged. Yet it's the factor directly related to the process of Genesis.
Wait, because Finan was supposed to be the world-bearing Titan, it made the actual world-bearings, like, computational logic, as she said, I guess, like, you know, what they're able to, like, ascertain or, like, what they're able to make in the world or what they hold up, I guess, like, a bit flawed. So Finan sacrificed himself to create an opportunity for us. He entrusted his duty of world-bearing to me. Finan didn't die. He's still fighting. I'd love to say this.
That old Intellitron will definitely do all he can to debug this error.
Okay.
So you have to take this chance to claim Kephal's core flame. But don't let him have his way. The key to suppressing Iron Tomb lies in whether he can rewrite the purpose of Era Nova.
So like she's talking about, I think she's talking about Lygus here, right? In terms of Intellitron. So we have to rewrite the purpose. So like the actual meaning behind Era Nova itself.
There's one more preparation we must make. Lygus's behavior has been quite abnormal. He's never interfered in the actions of Titans or the demigods throughout the whole experiment.
Neutrality, right? In some ways, even though like at this point, like it's not neutrality. You know what I mean? It's just not. It can't be. He's messed with so much that it doesn't feel very neutral anymore. It's just he's directly influencing stuff and trying to convince people of stuff. You know.
Deduction. The Scepter has an extremely strict autonomous protocol restricting even its administrator. In Amphoreus, this ultimate protocol goes by another name.
So he can't just do what he wants, is what they're saying. He can't just do whatever he wants.
The Law Titan. Talanton.
Talanton.
Law. They are the rules that restrain all things in Amphoreus. And it was the core flame returned at the very beginning of the last flame chase journey.
So wait, so Talanton... Is Talanton then restricting Lygus from doing everything he wants because he's the one that kind of governs laws in this world? They govern laws in this world?
Why do you have another little pink one next to you?
This is Cyrene. And Mem was beautiful too.
Huh? Her path chart is...
Is what?
Is there something wrong with me?
Again, to have her to be like, what?
Never mind.
No.
Let's get back to the topic at hand. Light calendar 3960. Month of balance. We'll be locking onto this time period to find Law. You can either meet the Titan, convince the demigod, or take the core flame by force.
That's so
It
cool.
doesn't matter what you do, so long as you bend it to your favor.
So we have to get Talanton's core flame or as well? We have to find Talanton, take their core flame as well. So is that so we can also like control the like administration things they were saying here as well, or the protocol, or we can maybe control the protocol in some ways, so we can change it in some ways.
We still haven't figured out how you and Don Hung got inside this world. So influencing protocol
Right.
is currently our best way to stop Lygus, or to call for more reinforcements into this fight. Once you've got Law in your hands, we'll discuss our next
I'm
steps.
so excited for this, but I'm so nervous. Like, it's so cool, but it's so terrifying.
Make sure the core flame doesn't fall into enemy hands.
You can say that again. You can definitely say that again.
Herta, the firewall's interference is getting closer. Time is running out.
Oh.
Please ask any questions you still have as soon as possible.
Can we ask everything? How's okay? I don't think this is this going to be. I don't think this is going to be. I think we can ask them all, but we'll ask them in order.
Iron Tomb can't affect the real world just yet.
Just yet.
Don't worry. Himiko and the others are more concerned about
Of
your well-being than
course.
their own.
Of course they are. Like, and that's so them as well, of course. But it is one of those things where, like, if that's what Lygus has always wanted. That's why this is a test run. It's this, not just Lygus, but it's also like, you know, the Scepter to spread this out to the entire world. As I said, like, you know, they said even returning civilizations to the Dark Ages is why lovely Don Hung's safe.
Mr. Don Hung did not enter the new world with you at the end of the last cycle. No. The flow of time inside and outside Amphoreus is not identical.
Okay.
1,000 years in this world may only be a fleeting second outside of it.
I asked if the pretty boy is okay. Let's say yes or no.
Conclusion. He is on his way back to the Express.
He's not even made it back yet because of the time differences. And how is the other pretty one?
Miss March's situation is rather complicated.
Because he said she was here, right? And even like in the data, they said in the kind of like as of written, she's here too.
Madam Herta and I can detect her signal, but cannot ascertain her location.
That's terrifying.
What we can be sure of is that she's still in Amphoreus.
Don't worry about her. She's absolutely chock full of mysteries. Even
Whoa.
if Amphoreus explodes, she'll probably float out perfectly protected in a nice thick layer of ice.
Again,
Worry more about yourself instead.
for her to say this about anybody, like, oh, she's full of mysteries, you know that means she's really full of mysteries. Because for her to like take an interest in anything, Like, you need to be interesting, you know? I don't have any other questions.
I believe in your capacities. The hands of the Trailblaze can create miracles, and will certainly be able to snuff out the flames of evil.
The belief in the Trailblaze is always so beautiful in this game, right? Because it's something that feels so universal, right?
I'm not going to give any motivational speeches.
Please do.
I just hope you bring good news the next time we meet.
Love her voice actor.
No, not little one. Deliverer.
Those two geniuses certainly have memorable personalities.
That's one way to put it. So what they're saying is, what do you think about them is a great question. Can you understand their explanations? What I think they're saying is obviously like what we thought before. Because of what Finon did, he did, I think in some ways he did give us more time. Like that's what he did. Not 100% he gave us more time. He allowed Stell to move on and become the deliverer in this timeline with the unknown variable idea, so that they can actually do something and change something in this timeline. So it's not like restrained to like a certain path. But it also gave Iron Tomb the last ingredient it needed to kind of be Iron Tomb. So Iron Tomb is like 99% finished. We have a problem now where Iron Tomb being ready to leave here means it's going to return, as she said, they said this themselves, return the world to the Dark Ages and destroy parts of the cosmos to reach Erudition, and try and destroy Erudition. They're ready to do this. They're preparing to do this. We have to find the Law Titan, Tantalon, so we can engage with these protocols within this world and change the protocols, because we have to find a way to make the Aeronova mean something different. And the reason they think this is because Lygus hasn't been able to do much outside of what he's been doing, like on the bare minimum, because obviously he can't change the protocol himself, because if he could, he probably would. So that means that there is like the Law Titan here that's like preventing that from happening. So we have to find that core flame. And as Herta said, and I love the way they did the characterizations here, Herta's not mincing words. Screwllum's always very polite, but Herta's like, yo, if you need to kill this Titan, do it. You know, if you need to destroy him, do it. Really, really cool stuff. What do you think about them is cool? A cool question. I think it's a cool question.
It feels weird. This all feels really familiar. Some of that conversation feels like it's about things I once knew, but then forgot. Maybe it's because of Mem? After all, Mem's a memo sprite born out of your thoughts, friend. Maybe our memories somehow got tangled up together.
I think that's exactly what happened. I genuinely think that's what happened, and she said she was merging with us anyway.
Never mind. Let's focus on something more important with what little time we have. Just treat me as an ordinary girl with secrets, okay? Like calendar 3960. I remember that Talantin had already fallen by then, and the Chrysos heir who inherited that core flame is named Cerydra. That's what's recorded in history,
Cerydra.
And the period we'll be heading to. We'll need to find Law and stop Lygus.
Have we heard that again? I'm so sorry that some names slipped my mind, of course, but we've heard the name Cerydra, right? I believe so. So we have to find the Chrysos heir who inherited the name Cerydra. Yeah, so we have to find Cerydra.
So, we've at least got a solid direction,
Man, this is
right?
so cool. This is such an amazing story. Honestly.
Can you give me a little bit of time before we go? I want to pack some stuff. There's so much more I need to take care of in this form.
Sure.
And I'm still getting used to it.
This is so cool. This is
A
so cool.
relaxed scene like this probably no longer exists in the outside world.
A relax. Oh, whoa. So, they want us to retrieve this, but I imagine we could talk to Cyrene as well. This is, again, I say it's fantastic because like I just felt this like euphoric moment here where, look how beautiful this place is, where like a combination of just hearing all the stories, the characterization of Herta and Screwllum, like all this stuff was really, really incredible. And what really like hit me the hardest here was like when they were like, when Cyrene talked about the goal of meeting Cerydra and trying to get the core flame for Tantalon and then giving us this like specific goal. what I think Honkai Star Rail is really good at, and I think they do it a lot in these games, is they know they've just given us a lot of heavy stuff here. And they find a really good way of anchoring us in a way that, like, I shouldn't use the word anchor because it sounds like it's stopping us. I feel like it's more just like giving us a push on the swing, right? We stopped on the swing because everything got too heavy. And they did give us a little bit of a push again. That feels very natural, right? How can you move on after what we saw in the last episode, right? Have two of the most, like, learned and trustworthy, in my opinion, I think Screwllum and Herta are trustworthy, even though they're, like, crazy. I think they're crazy in a way that's, like, I would trust them with my lives as well, weirdly enough, you know what I mean? But, like, having the two of them kind of be like these characters that instantly you understand when they speak, you listen, you know, show up and be like, yo, you gotta do this. And all of a sudden our paths change. We feel motivated to go forward once again. They're really good at, like, you know, picking up off the ground and running after we fall into the dirt intentionally. So they want us to fall into the dirt emotionally and, like, curl up in a ball. They're really good at, like, having a character come over and be like, you know, rise, you know, let's do this. Even if it's not, that's not what Herta and Screwllum are saying, but I'm talking about, like, gameplay wise, mechanics wise, and that infect emotions as well. They know we just went through something heavy, so to have two characters show up and be like, you got to do this, that we trust, that we know what they're saying is true, it just means something, and it makes us motivated to go forward. And you can say, well, Cal, would you feel the same way? If Welt and Himiko showed up, of course Welt and Himiko said the same thing, and that's the same thing. It's like, and they've done this type of stuff before. It just makes perfect sense. Like, I think if they had Lygus show up, like, right away and be like, you think you're gonna stop me, it would feel kind of like almost demotivating to have him show up right away, right? So to have us, like, ease into the game, like, once again with, like, having Cyrene and us having a lovely conversation, then have two characters we know from outside this world explain something to us, and while it's terrifying and it's heart pounding, there's still a motivation to go forward. I can't wait to try and do this. I think that's good what Honkai Star Rail does. It's like, I have this motivation to move forward, but I'm also terrified and I'm also nervous, but it's keeping me going, right? The nervousness is not a bad thing. You're supposed to feel nervous. It's supposed to be scary. It's supposed to be a lot. It's supposed to be heavy. But they're really good at picking you up with the ground.
This is important, and that's also important. It's not gonna fit into my bag. Hold on, I'll be done in a sec.
You take all the time you need, Cyrene. Yeah. If they had, like, show up right away, and as I said, I'd be like, you thought you won. It's like, oh, dude, I've already gone through so many, like, terrifying things. A lovely conversation with Cyrene, and then, like, a new motivation, new terrifying task from the Genius Society. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Don't forget to take it with you. It's your only means of communication with the outside world. The Genius messages are still there reminding you. Travel to light calendar year 3960, the era of Tauntaun's fall, gain control of the law. I'm so excited for this. But again, it's excitement, but there's also, like, the same feeling I get before, you know, before you go to, like, a job interview. Like, not that sounds weird, but, like, it's a feeling of dread. It's a feeling of, like, what if this goes terribly wrong, you know? And it already is going terribly wrong in some ways. You can bypass the final protocol, modify the core flame world bearing, and reverse Era Novus. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to modify the entire protocol of this world. Delay Iron Tomb birth. Heck yeah. Let's go. The information in the cognitive anchor is now unrecognizable. However, you already know the mission entrusted to you by the genius, so go seek out the power of the law. Let's go. Yeah.
Should I head to the attic to wait for Cyrene? Or should I have one last look at Ides Elysiae?
Stell? Interesting perspective. Honestly, I think we call Stell a gremlin all the time, right? We call her like a, cause she is. Like when she's a gremlin, she is a gremlin, right? For sure. But I think what's really cool about what she just said there shows like she does have, like, well, we all know that she has that caring spiritual side of herself too. And this is Finon's home. This is Cyrene's home. Finon, who's going to be someone that she's never going to forget. One of her closest pals in the entire world. Like, this is his home. And in a way, I think one last look at this world here, to me also feels like it's like, you know, in my view, it's like the closest thing we have to being around Finon right now is Elysiae. You know? Elysiae. I'm taking it as that. Calvin, you're reading too much into it. That's cool. I would never judge you for not reading too much into it. You know? We can just both play our games in different ways. In my opinion. I get different perspectives from you guys all the time. You know? Never judging you. Everyone looks at games differently. so pretty, isn't it? So pretty. Should we be talking to Bartholus, by the way? Because like I feel like him being here in Elysia is insane, right? I feel like we should be.
My old friend, didn't expect you to run into Bartholus here of all places. Wow there, judging by that look, I see you're probably thinking, am I seriously seeing a ghost right now? Well then, whether or not you are, I can say I have full confidence that based on my highly meticulous deduction, I am at the exact moment a ghostly figure conjured by your own subconsciousness. Don't get it twisted. First, I'm the one-and-only real Bartholus. Second, I'm the real Bartholus. The real Bartholus truly wouldn't be in the ideas of Elysia right now. Just think of it as a little miracle to see Bartholus here. You'll start seeing a lot more of us anyway. Oh, so that they're explaining it. Okay. Like every time old Bartholus got, I've got a short story for you. See, there was one time back in Uniopolis, I played a neat little game. I laid out 3 boxes in front of a crowd. They only had to pay 1 coin to guess which one had the treasure, pick the right one, and the treasure is theirs. But after they made their pick, I wouldn't open it just yet. Instead, I'd pop open the others, an empty one, and say, look, this one's got nothing. Want to change your pick? So it's like Deal or No Deal, but Bartholus edition. Of course, they should change it. Gotta trust your gut and stick with your first choice. Let's go with that. Sure. So your strategy is to stay on the course no matter what, huh? Well, if you're playing fair, you'd be hurting your odds, pal. Wonder why did I tell you this? Now go open these 3 treasure chests I brought you and see what happens when Bartholus gets a little mischievous. Wait, what? Oh. This one here.
We can use it.
Oh. He literally just gave us 3 chests for fun? Okay, dude, thanks. Thanks, Bartholus. What a dude.
This village is where Finan's life started.
Yep.
After 30 million cycles and 30 million failures, his burden is now in my hands.
This is why I'll never take anyone saying, you know, you read too much into things. Because even with that stuff there, it's like the characters usually say it after. Not because, again, I want to make it clear, it's not because I think I'm smart. I always say this. It's because I think this game is so good at like leaving you breadcrumbs to follow. I think it's so good at that. And like, well, again, there's stuff that you guys tell me that I didn't think of. There's stuff that I probably say that you guys didn't think of. There's stuff that other people are going to say that we both didn't think of. That's what's the beauty of these games, you know?
He said I will take over the responsibilities of world-bearing. But what does that mean? Becoming the new Kefali? Or forging a completely new path?
I'd like to think new path. I think that the idea of a trailblazer is to find a new path, believe in Destiny's plan, prepare for the worst, analyze the situation rationally.
Calm down and think this through rationally. This is gonna be a very difficult campaign. We can't lose Kefali's core flame.
Yep.
And we also need to find either Talantin or their demigod, then convince them to join us in the fight against the destruction.
I love that as well, though, like you know, Herta was like, kill them if you have to, but we're like very much on the path of, let's try and convince them.
But there are so many unknowns. We don't know what Lygus might be doing, and we'll have to face Iron Tomb after dealing with him. There's also Cyrene. What exactly is she?
So many questions, and I think it's really like crazy because again, Stella's not on her own here. She's never been on her own, but she's without Don Hong. She's without any other trailblazer, and you know as well. So I do think, and even I think when we had Firefly, it was like at least that was even though like you know, Firefly had her own problems as well. It felt like it was still a very grounded relationship between the two of us. So there is a thing where like she's kind of like she's not on her own. She's with Cyrene, but she does have a lot of these thoughts on her own, right? For sure.
There's so many questions. I'll have to take it one step at a time. But I must make each move very carefully, because every decision can potentially impact the end. Herta and Screwllum's help might be crucial.
Thinking hard over there?
Being very introspective, Cyrene.
I finished packing. I decided to just bring these few things in the end.
Fair enough.
See? There's a journal, a quill pen, and...
And?
The ceremonial blade of the Priests of Time. Holding it calms me down for some reason.
I mean, what's so crazy as well is that this was obviously the weapon that was being held by the Flame Reaver, right?
The scent of the black tide is now calm. Finan must still be fighting them in some way. This will be Amphoreus' final flame chase journey. But it won't be the end of us. It'll be the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love that. And it's cool that we had all these like swirling thoughts, and then kind of like Cyrene comes along and kind of just goes like, hey, it's not the end.
Friend, are you ready to become a hero?
Oh my god. Still, I don't know how I should act around you. I still don't get it. Why must it be me? Let's go. Okay, let's ask all these questions, right?
Treat me like any other friend you have. We share a common goal and common enemies.
True.
And we may also share a common future. A future that has never emerged in any other cycles before. I believe in you, friend.
I think this is fair.
If you still can't get used to it, just call me Mem like you did before. Just kidding.
I mean, it would kind of ease our mind a bit, I bet. But yeah, I love that. It's like, hey, like, it doesn't matter really like what you see me as. Just see me as a friend. You know, it's like, it's we have a common goal here. We're in this together. I still don't get it. Why must it be me?
Are you worried that the burden is too heavy for you? Don't worry. Maybe the answer isn't as complicated as you think.
Okay.
You've seen how every person regarded as a hero in Amphoreus was nothing more than a flawed human. They were just at the right place at the right time when the world needed a hero.
This is so true. Like, and I feel like it's true for real life too, right?
But those aren't coincidences. Just like how your arrival kickstarted Amphoreus' fate once more after a stagnation of more than 30 million cycles. It's the inevitability of being a trailblazer. A person's personality is their destiny. Your own hero's journey already started the moment you decided to board that express.
This is such a beautiful way of express. Like listen to this. Like, it's the idea it's like people in the right place, right time. Right? They're not just coincidences, right? It's like, yeah, people can show up in the right place, right time, but for you don't think of it as a way that you're not supposed to be here, right? And the inevitability of being a trailblazer to me is like the idea of like, we go on these journeys, we blaze a path forward, we choose our own path. It makes sense that at some point we would arrive in a certain place and like change things for the better, right? That's what we do. That's what trailblazers do, you know? I love as well, by the way, a person's personality is their destiny. Is like, yeah, you're going to end up like where you're supposed to end up. You know? As soon as we got on the express, we started our journey. Let's go, we'll save everyone.
That promise might be far too heavy.
Nope. We're saving everybody.
But I believe in you, friend. The Trailblazer's duty has always been a heavy one.
Heck yeah.
In other words, since you've already saved so many worlds, friend, you should be used to being called a hero by now. Maybe you can tell me those stories as we travel.
Would love to.
That way they can become our shared memories too.
Would love to. I love what she says that as well. It's like, hey, you saved, Balebog. You helped save Pennicody. You helped save this young show. You know what I mean? And a big factor in that, let's be honest here.
Let's trailblaze onward like before and create a future that's worth being remembered.
This was such a healing conversation. It really was. Holy crap. Like, all the nervousness that Stell had, while I don't think it's going to be gone, like, of course.
You two are prepared to head out.
Oh my god. It's Lygus.
You should indeed treasure the view before you.
I'm so glad they did this now. That's what I'm saying. They could have done this right away and it wouldn't have been as effective at all. I'm so glad they gave us some time before they got into the whole, hey, you're donezo.
For you do not have much time left to enjoy such solitary delights.
He sounds like he's enjoying himself as well. Still daring enough to approach me, huh? Get him, Stell. Get him.
My apologies for disturbing your moment of repose. To fully express my apologies, please grace my abode with your presence.
How about no? How about we just go do our own job? You go about your own job, we'll do our job.
So I may demonstrate the full scope of my hospitality.
Oh, you're so weird. You're so weird. Are we going there? We are. What is that? What is that? What the hell?
What is this place?
It's like a big gigantic like electrical circuit or something. What the hell is this place? Okay, Honkai Star was insane. This game is insane. This game is insane. Look at this. What the hell? What the hell? Honkai Star Rail is insane. Polo Moses 600 Premium Mobile Titan Authority Strife Path. What the hell?
Farewell, then. May we reunite in the new world.
What? We're seeing this stuff now? Oh! We're seeing the same stuff Finance saw, so... Do you think we're seeing it now because... obviously this is part of our memories too, right? We remember the time we had with our beautiful characters too, but like, do you think it's because of Finance memories too? Death. Oh! And Casters was there?
All shall bid farewell to one. And that person alone will witness the miracle.
Treeby. Authority. Reason. Earth Path.
The light of the Dawn device never fades. Kepali's protection has no end.
Man, it's just such a strange visual as well, isn't it? Like just being on this like wire. Kalos 618 Authority Romance Path. Titan Authority, so that would be Cyphera. It's such a crazy visual.
After I cross this river, it will be a tragedy for mankind.
Wait.
But if I do not cross, then it will be the end of me.
Wait. Aporia Premium Titan Authority. Hold on a second though. What's that sound? The crunchy sound? I didn't get a good. It just happened so fast. Is that Heceland's? I guess that must be Heceland's? And what are we seeing here too? It worries me again. As I said, I'm so glad they did this now. Look at this visual. What the hell are we looking at? I'm so glad they did this now and not right away. Because we got to sit with Cyrene for a bit, you know? As you reach out to touch the screen, an eerie sensation instantly courses through your entire body. You feel...
Outlier. Executing command. Record.
Oh no. I mean, we didn't really have a choice, did we, to like come here? I was gonna say we should leave, but I don't think we had a choice. Oh my god, look at this place, guys. This is insanity. Yeah, we didn't, it's not like Stella had a choice. It's not like we could be like, hey, Stella, leave. She didn't have a choice. This music as well. This beat.
Oh, did that startle you?
Everything startles me with you, Lygus. Everything.
This is the intersection between Amphoreus and the real universe. The audience seat where I observe this experiment. You can also call this location the
Exomyth. So this is like yeah, like an in-between space, obviously set between like our universe and Amphoreus. But this is where he's been watching this whole thing this whole time. This is the observation deck, which I guess the TVs make sense then, right?
What you see is the true form
location's crazy.
of the eternal land and the 12 demigods after they've shed their disguise of legends. Doesn't it look marvelous? Amphoreus is like a microcosm of the cosmos. People love to portray the romance of the starry skies, but their tales often forget a different and far more truthful type of universe.
Not sorry for interrupting you, Lygus, whatsoever, but what you see in the true form of Eternal Land is the 12 demigods after they shed their disguise of legend. So when they're not demigods, they're these like little TV screens, these little maybe like computers.
The moment
programs?
ancient Antikytherians sketched geometric shapes on the sandy beach and recorded the first numerals and symbols on parchment, the universe turned into a silent equation flowing under the pen of these relentless decoders.
So, when as soon as they could write, they started to see the world as an equation.
Erudition. It was once the mother tongue of the Creator, the pen of divinity, and the first lyrical verse ever written by free will.
So, again, if I'm getting this right, enough purple pros get at the point. I freaking love you, Cell. I love you. What he's saying here to me is saying that that erudition is like what gave people free will. It's the first time that someone got to have free will. It almost created free will in a way. I might read up in the databank on erudition, right? On the concept maybe, just so I can get a better idea of this as well, because it's definitely one of those things. But he said it was the mother tongue of the creator, the pen of the divinity. So it's like creation, right? It's like the world that we see today, I guess. Tell him. Absolutely tell him.
Seems like you are not in the mood for an idle chat.
Never, buddy.
That is fine. I simply wish for you to understand that I have no intention of being your enemy.
This is where I think this type of phrasing, whenever a bad guy says this, is always so interesting to me, because usually what it's like, I've just caused lots of problems. But the thing is, for Lygus, he doesn't see this as an issue, right? That's the problem, right? Like, he doesn't see the fact that he put Finon through this, like, and put everyone, like, put all these experiments, like, through this whole ringer. I know it just wasn't just him, but, like, he's been overseeing it, right? He doesn't see it as an issue, because he even said to us, he's like, what does it matter? Like, you're not even, like, real heroes. You're not even real titans. You're not even real demigods. What does it matter? He can't look at it from a perspective of, like, dude, you are our enemy. You are. There's no in between of this. I don't care.
I have devoted myself over the long years to nurturing the scepter's extrapolations, hoping that the primal mobile would bud from within it. And now, my goal is almost complete. Nikos 496 had exceeded the intelligence singularity through his rage, and though he still retains his obsessive defiance,
he's still fighting the Black Tide.
Managed to suppress the Black Tide of this cycle.
So sick.
It's a matter of time before his will crumbles to dust.
And I see nothing wrong with me saying this. Legacy, like, you actually, like, out of any character in this game, like, you actually frustrate me to death. You do. And it's, you know what it's like after all this has happened? I always had like I never like hated Lygus, but I always had like this impression of him where I was doing his voice impression, and like he always like got on my nerves. As you guys could tell, he got on my nerves a little bit, but I still think he was a great vessel for the story. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Where it's like, he annoys the heck out of me, but like he's always been like a fantastic vessel for the story. But I feel like this is one of those situations, you know, when you like don't like someone for like no rational reason, and then they do something bad and you're like, see? See? I told you. It's like, you didn't tell us this. I told you. You know? He genuinely frustrates me. He really does.
Iron Tomb will be completed.
Do you hear the code?
Will not be affected by my plans, your resistance, or the schemes of the two geniuses.
Why is he saying this to us again, though?
It's an irrefutable fact, just like the instance in Luce's calculations.
Isn't this what they said before? If he believes this fully, why is he telling us? Just let it happen then. You know, if you think we can't get involved and we can't do anything, what's the problem?
In other words, as long as you are willing to stop interfering and let the final Aeronova carry out its natural course, I'll guarantee the safety of all nameless and ensure you return unscathed.
The answer's already no. Look at Stell's face. Look at Stell's pretty face right now. She's saying no. Like, it's so interesting he says here, he's like, Iron Tombs will be completed. That's not affected by your plan. It's not affected by your resistance. It's not affected by the geniuses, right? But then in the next sentence he goes, if you stop interfering, then I'll, let you leave, To me, like, they're almost contradictory in my opinion. I'm sure someone will be like, well, actually they're not. But, like, to me, like, it's contradictory because he's kind of being like, it's a fact, right? It's going to happen. But then he's also like, but can you stop getting involved, I'm going to win the competition if you don't join the competition, It just feels that way, And I know, like, it's like you could say, well, Calvin, like, the idea of Iron Tomb being completed and the Aeronova being, like, carrying out its natural course, you could say that, like, Iron Tomb, he's saying that, like, we can't get involved in Iron Tomb's completion, but the idea of the Aeronova, like, and its expansion and its, the spreading of the black tide is something maybe we can interfere with or something like that, But, I still think that, like, again, like we said before, there's no earthly way that he would say this type of stuff if he thought that, like, we weren't going to be a threat to all of this. You know what I mean? He knows we are. Why should I try? Like, we can ask these questions, but really, like, there should be, like, just a slap option.
You've always had a choice, my lady.
She isn't your lady. She isn't your lady, buddy.
You can either accept my sincerity.
Oh, yeah?
Or face the consequences of defying it.
Oh my god. Big boy. Big tough boy. Big tough boy. Huh? Big tough boy. Oh, how tough. Big tough boy. What will happen to the people of Amphoreus? Big tough boy?
They've always been the product of the experiment. So, naturally, they will perish when the experiment ends.
Again, he sees no issue with this. And that's the thing about Lygus. He sees no issue whatsoever with what he's saying. You know what I mean?
That outcome was predetermined long ago, so I will not embellish such a
we say regrettable
conclusion.
That means I think that maybe my assessment is not. I think he knows he's not stupid enough to not think that that why people would not be upset by it. That's what we should say, right? That's a better way of saying it. He understands why this would be bad in people's eyes, but for him, he's like, bro, get over it, I still have friends stranded here. We do. Should we tell him this?
Yes.
Huh?
I am aware of that esteemed lady's whereabouts.
Where?
Her real identity is...
What?
Quite astounding.
What?
If you decide to accept my proposal, then I will do all I can to send her back to you.
The problem is, I would love to know who March is, right? I would love to also get her back, 110%. I need March in my life, right? I need her so badly. But the thing is, if March was standing right before you right now and you said to her, accept my proposal and I will give you your identity, she would tell you to take your proposal and shove it in the exhaust pipe at the back of you. She would tell you that right away, Lygus. Like, and I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact that March, or if you said to Don Hong, hey Don Hong, we're going to rid you of all the trauma and pain for your life, and all you have to do is accept my proposal, he would, again, it's not a good thing that he has trauma. It's not a good thing that poor March can't remember who she is, but they would not ever make this deal. Ever. When Iron Tomb descends, no one will escape unscathed. This code in the background, like the typing?
Indeed worried about your safety and that of your companions. Rest assured, as a fellow pathstrider of this path, Nanook's gaze left a brand on your soul long ago. You harbor the seed of destruction within you.
They said in the files that when Stell came here, it was almost like this hidden factor. So obviously the idea of her being a pathstrider of destruction would make sense.
But you need to learn how to use it in the right way.
Okay, Palpatine.
That vital knowledge is also my bargaining chip in this negotiation between us. For there are few in this world who are truly capable of such a feat.
It's kind of sick, though, isn't it? It's kind of sick, this idea, this guy standing before us, learn how to harness. You know what I mean? Like that type of conversation. Also, the voice actor for Lygus is incredible, right? He's actually incredible because I think that my annoyance for Lygus that has been brewing and building, because before I wasn't I didn't dislike him. I was just he's kind of he's interesting. I went from interest to and again, you can watch the other videos. You can tell I was I was getting more frustrated over time. Again, I think he's a great vessel for a story. I think that the conversation we had with him, like, where I think he's intentionally vague to make it more intriguing, right? That's why he's getting frustrating. But I think the voice actor also does such a good job of having a character that believes that he is right? You can hear it in his voice. You can hear that he thinks his words carry so much weight that you have to wait to listen to every single freaking syllable, and you will wait, you know? He's the type of character that's kind of like, that doesn't value your time, but he values his. You will listen to every word I say. You know, and like the voice actor did such a good job of creating a character that like is not only detestable as like an individual, right? But detestable to me, even in like little tiny things that they do, you know?
And I happen to be one of them.
So he wants her to like basically like, you know, learn how to like use this path striding stuff better. Seed of destruction. The Celeron is a seed of ruin and will only bring misfortune. Who are you is a good question. Well, that's an interesting question because we don't know his true identity.
Someone who wanders the stars. Someone who seeks
again.
Answers with abject despair.
There he is again.
That is all I am.
That's all I am. Again, he's not going to give it. He's like, again, he's not like, even if he has like a true identity, he's not going to give it up to us like this. You know what I mean? He's not. There's an advantage he has to being unknown.
This matter is of grave importance, so please do not make your decision lightly. After all, the choice before you bears a 1 in 3 chance of elevating you to an unparalleled existence among the stars.
It's so funny because, like, again, this type of offer would be so powerful to most people in this world. And while, like, we could utilize this power in some way 110%, I do think it's also, I do think it's also good to note that, like, Stell as a character, I believe, isn't seeking power. You know, if you put an ancient sword in front of her or, like, a pack of jelly babies, Stell is going to ask what flavor the jelly babies are first and then take the jelly babies. And that's not because she's... that makes it sound like she's like, oh, jelly babies, like she's dumb. I mean it more in a case of just like she values like things differently. She doesn't care about like ultimate power, ultimate strength, or ultimate... You know what I mean? She cares about like having a great time, enjoying life, enjoying the people around her. Yeah, I just don't see Stell taking this deal. I just don't see it. I never thought of becoming unparalleled. I will not allow destruction to tear through the cosmos. You cannot trust any promises you make. Yeah. We never even thought of that. Well, that doesn't cross our mind. We're here to help people. We're here to blaze our own path.
See the full scope of the determination in your words.
Sure, buddy.
You may now continue your travels.
What kind of tricks are you pulling? I love this. This is so stealth to me.
It seems you haven't realized something about this place.
Yeah?
The exomyth is the Erudition's domain. You cannot physically interact with me in any way in this place, and vice versa.
So we both don't have like a power here to hurt each other.
As negotiations have broken down, there's no more need for us to remain in the audience's seat. Let's return to the theater called Amphoreus, where you will meet me once again.
I'd rather not meet you ever again, to be honest.
Of course. This meeting was not without merit. Your presence has inscribed a new footnote in the exomyth.
What?
As for its purpose, allow me to reveal it to you in detail the next time we meet.
What? When's the next time we're gonna meet then, Lygus? When is it? Man, the voice actor for Lygus is so fantastic. The fact that, like, I am legitimately...
100 years ago, the flames of war consumed Akama.
The fact that I'm legitimately so frustrated at every single syllable that comes out of his mouth, to me, it's just talent. It's talent.
The Outland forces broke through the dawn. Golden blood flowed with greed, and enemies descended with Kefali's eternal slumber, painting the holy city's walls in scarlet.
This way to phrase it, right? So we're talking about like we're talking about the flames of war has consumed Akama. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're acquainted.
Its generals had vanished, and the elders prostrated on the ground. The throne of worlds kept silent to the pleas of the people. Until the heaven and earth cracked open.
Look at this
gods
image.
Answering the people's prayers, but a legion rising from the sea of blood.
Who's this? Look at the crown. They're like an ice princess or ice queen?
Dawn-Cloud's spires fell in the sulfur rains, and the legion's commander stood atop the broken idols and roared,
"Compatriots, no more kneeling!
What?
Not to brutal tyrants, and not to dead or dying gods!"
Honestly, I freaking love that. I love that a lot. Look at this.
Those rebels have twisted the prophecy and ignited the flames of war in order to stoke fear in your hearts.
A Chrysos heir she stood, divine blood soaked into the earth, quelling the flames beneath her feet.
So she's a Chrysos heir? Man, I'm sorry, but you guys know this type of phrasing here. Dead, dying gods, no brutal times. You guys know I love that, man. I'd be following her into hell. I would be literally on my horse following her into battle right now.
Their golden blood wrote of a tragic fate. Mine shall overturn it!
Oh my god, whoever this is so sick. She's so sick.
Her crown burned bright, outshining the fires consuming the entire city. She raised her scepter high, and the people gazed in the direction she pointed.
I'd be on the floor bowing down already. She's so cool. Wait, is this Cerydra? Because we're talking about a crisis here when we just literally talked about a crisis here, like, not like 20 minutes ago. So I'm imagining it's probably them.
My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize the reins of fate.
I almost want to scream. This is so sick.
Drive the enemy from Kefali's dawn. Smother their flames with their own dead. Win glory. Win peace. Let history sing your deeds!
I like that she doesn't have this like deep and guttural voice as well. It's kind of soft and sweet in a way, but it kind of like it makes it kind of a very interesting choice for doing a speech as well, right?
The first to dance was a maiden following closely behind, weaving through the carnage like a fish in the sea.
Like the fish in the sea?
The people, full of wrath, surged with her, forming a colossal wave, and the enemy hordes, drained of life, vanished into nothing.
Onward to Marmorial Palace!
This is such
to
cool artwork.
Dawn Cloud's Heights! Announce to all the wicked and cowardly! Announce to this stagnant age!
Now again, I could be making assumptions that are going to make me look stupid, but who cares, right? I'm guessing this is Cerydra, right? Am I pronouncing that right? And then, if they're talking about like a maiden, right? And there's the same kind of color tones. They're talking about fish as well. Sorry, they're talking about like a maiden following close behind, waving through carriage like a fish in the sea, and there's fish around her. Are we to believe that that could be Heceland? Since Heceland was around years and years and years ago, it could be, right?
We are the rising tide.
That's just my assumption.
History remembers this as the first siege of Akama. It is said that after the flames died, people found identical inscriptions in every place in the city that had been scorched by fire.
Yeah?
It was the name borne by Akama's first and
There it
final
is.
sovereign, the Imperator Cerydra.
Cerydra, Imperator Cerydra. And I'm guessing that could have been Heceland's then as the maiden. That's so sick, man. So, okay, just so I can like maybe screenshot this because I want to like look over it again because I do feel like I was more like just mesmerized by her presence, honestly. Let's check it out here. Yeah, just a few screenshots.
Friend, are you listening?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty cool.
Friend? Friend?
I love she calls us friend.
Honestly, you were the one who insisted on reviewing history, yet here you are, dozing off.
Well, for me personally, like,
Wake
I
up!
definitely...
Otherwise, I'll have to...
What? I was paying attention, but it's also like I like to take the screenshots again just so like if I missed anything, because it was more like when, especially when it's like a cool image as well, like we get so hung up. I think I'm never gonna stop getting hung up on the designs and the artwork as well too.
Wake up! Otherwise, I'll have to...
You'll have to what? She's so cute!
Awake at last. I guess I won't have to use my wake-up magic on you then.
She's adorable. She's so cute. Where exactly are we?
We've arrived. A familiar place. The Temple of the Three Fates. If everything went according to plan, it should be shortly after Talantin's fall.
Ah, so then we can go find the crisis there. This is so sick. This is so sick, like what we're about to do here. Like even if, no matter what happens, fight, join our side, or something else. Regardless of what's gonna happen here with the Cerydra. I cannot wait. You know, the feeling I have, the energy I have, the fact that we're gonna be like a new Chrysosaur, and technically an older Chrysosaur, but still.
And also the end of the first flame chase journey.
Whoa. The law demigod awaits.
Indeed. The first flame chase ended with the trial of Law. We must find the demigod and gain her trust before the core flame is restored.
Love it.
It'll be tricky, so let's pick up our pace. To Akama first. We can learn more from the crowds there.
Tyrant! You and your butchers are not welcome here.
Butchers?
Get out!
What was that noise? A dispute?
Hold your tongue! Conspiring with Kremnos and plotting rebellion are crimes punishable by death.
There are multiple voices, and things seem tense.
Yeah.
Let's not get caught up in any trouble.
Sure.
Why don't we find a place to hide and observe from the shadows?
Whatever you want to do. This is to me like legitimately, oh my god, look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is incredible, guys. This whole story is incredible. This idea is incredible. I feel like what they've done here is just so incredible. The idea of like getting into Act 5 and a new life completely being injected into the story is fantastic. The idea that we're going after the Law Titan, the fact that we're trying to find the core flame of reason, like all this stuff to me like is just like something so exciting. Because again, it's not just the fact that like, oh, this is cool on its own, because it is. It's also the fact that there is like a built-in idea when we're playing these games that finding a Chrysosaur is a big deal, and meeting a Chrysosaur isn't a big deal. The core flames are big deals, right? So already we have this like built-up feelings of like, I loved when I met Minimos, I loved when I met Tribi, I love when I met Finon, I love when I met Cyphera, I love when I met Axagris. They're all so freaking cool, right? So we have this excitement too of like, what's this one gonna be like? What's this Chrysosaur gonna be like? And I'm really, really excited to meet them as well. The stuff with Lygus, by the way, like I have no problem saying, as I said, like he frustrates me to absolute heck, but I think his role is to his role isn't to make you feel like sunshine and daisies. Let's just put it that way. Like I said, he did the exact thing I said he always does, where you go like, when we asked him his name, he's like, I am everything. I swear to God, if you ask Lygus, like, hey Lygus, I'm going to the store. Do you need milk or do you need anything from the store or whatever? The store. I was there. Well, okay, see you, Lygus. Okay. Fine. Let's head in.
At least Cremnoans keep their faith.
At least Cremnoans keep their fate.
Wait, isn't that...
Whoa. Heceland's. Oh, she's so freaking cool, man. She's such an incredible design.
Blooded defilers, perverting the prophecy and trying to slay gods. Stars beyond the sky? Gods who created the Titans?
What?
What kind of nonsense? Look at this broken world and see what your atrocious acts have done.
Are they proclaiming the idea that there is like gods from beyond the sky itself, like gods who created the Titans themselves? Is that the idea that's coming from Heceland then and Cerydra?
What? Did he just mention the stars beyond the sky?
Oh yeah, the fact that they're mentioning beyond the sky anyway is pretty crazy. Because that would imply that your sky is false, right?
But how is that possible?
Yeah, to even mention that.
You impudent!
What is happening?
Dux Frigoris. We're here to welcome the deliverer from beyond the sky.
What? Oh my god.
Stand down.
What is she? So wait, who's she talking when she says deliver from beyond the sky? Can I say, guys, I'm sorry, her design is so sick. I'm wishing on her when she comes on the banner. Robin's first, but then Heceland's has jumped up. Like, just for this design is incredible.
Heretic! No one but the great Talanton can deliver this world from misery.
So they follow Talanton.
I ask you, if the old laws were so perfect, why did they crumble beneath my feet?
Show me. This bright blue color tone. Heceland's looks so cool.
You.
Oh, look at the hair.
Talanton is long gone. Now
What?
I am the law.
What are you? Oh my god. I want to say this with like 100% sincerity and not even an insult. First of all, you tell him, girl, you are the law. This is like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain. Like, this is like who they play like midway through season 2 in like a Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And I mean this as a compliment. She looks so sick. Like the crown on her head, you wouldn't be surprised that you see a to be continued screen. And it just so happens, like, what's her power, right? Like, let's say there's flames coming out of her head, out of her crown. So like she would be like to Yugi, like, it just so happens, Yugi, that your chances of winning are going up in smokes. Like something like that, and it says to be continued. I'm sorry, this is a sick design. It's so like cartoonish in the best way possible, you know what I mean? It's so like out there, like the flamed crown, the scepter. This is so sick, man. I'm so excited. New characters.
Challenge me, or submit to my
Tell him,
judgment.
get him. No way. No way. I'm so excited.
Silence.
Stop. What, the chess piece? Oh, she's like a queen on the chessboard.
What gives you the
Oh, she's so cool.
to judge a priest of law?
She's so short.
That's because
Heceland. She says stop.
I came. I saw.
Saw?
I conquered.
Oh my god, man. The heavenly glow coming down from the sky. Heceland didn't attack us, by the way. She just put her finger over our mouth, right? There was no violence there. It was almost like trust us for some reason, right? Guys, if Cerydra is the bad guy, I'm sorry, but like we're defecting. We have to defect. These two are so cool. And you can say Kava's just excitement over meeting new characters. Maybe, but like, I don't know.
Dux for Goris, take the ashes of this man and scatter them in the temple among
Oh,
the
she
crowds.
did. Oh. I'm sure she had a good. I'm sure he was evil. Oh my god.
Tell them that the High Priest attempted to take away the rights granted to the people by the Imperator. Thus, he met his fate.
Look, she had a. He talked back. You know?
Yes, Emperor.
Jesus Christ, man. What the hell?
Now, these two accidental guests.
We acknowledge you. We acknowledge your reign of whatever this is. We acknowledge it, you know?
Dux Gladiorum, if you please.
It's Dux Gladiorum. You look so... I'm sorry. Like, I'll never get over how cool the design is. The black lace gothic arm, like, sleeves. Or it's like, I guess, a shoulder jacket almost. She's so cool.
As you command.
Watch what's gonna happen now. We're not your enemies? This is typical Star should have expected. Just ask what's going on. Huh? What?
Huh? Is this...
Kindness? But...
Correct, but not the kindness you know.
Oh, she knows way more. She's already saying the kindness you know, so she knows a lot about this then. So I think if they're talking about, you know, stars beyond the sky, then they do know a lot about this then as well.
This is the leader of the Cleaners in this era. Since the start of the Chrysos War, they've made it their mission to wipe out the Chrysos heirs. Even now, even after I've united all the city-states, these vermin still lurk in the shadows.
Yes.
Hindering the flame-chase journey.
Oh my god, how can I not worship this queen? This is my queen! Get him! Pick her back up and get her again! Like, let's go! Let's get kindness again! Everyone take a turn! Use the scepter! Bam bam! I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit hyper right now I think, just because this is so exciting. This is so exciting. We're like in the freaking, like we're in a different era, right? And we're talking to new characters. Heceland's got these freaking sick boots as well, like.
Moreover, I know that the 27th person to inherit this role bore many grudges against you and nearly doomed the second flame chase journey.
She knows a lot. She knows a lot. That's our queen for you.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So, out of courtesy, I present to you this corpse as a gift.
Oh my. Quite the generous gift. Honestly, like, I wouldn't ask for a corpse or thing, but like, you guys know I was begging to like get kindness myself, but like, I think it's a cool story moment. It really is like this idea of like, you know, her giving kindness to us as a gift. Like, in terms of like introducing a character, like what a strong way of being like, look how terrifying this character can be and look what they can get accomplished as well.
Careful. Let's wait and see what happens. She's probably trying to scare us.
And it's working.
For the sake of order, I am known by many titles. Flame Crowned, who ends wars.
Yes.
Tyrant of Dawn Cloud.
Okay.
Empress of the Holy City.
Whoa.
And Imperator of the Flame Chase.
Great voice actor.
But in light of your unique identities, I'll allow you to address me by my real name.
This is Cerydra, isn't it? Yeah.
Cerydra.
Yep.
On behalf of my people and this land, Greetings, Deliverer.
Yeah, oh my god. And she was waiting for us. She was waiting for us. So she knows a hell of a lot. And by the way, I want to acknowledge here, by the way, that like Tribi is here. I want to make that clear. I know Tribi is here. And I'm sorry I didn't react to her as well because there's new characters. But like Tribi is here, but I'm not surprised that Tribi is in this era, right? Tribi's been around for years upon years. Tribi went to all different kingdoms and locations, so it's not a shock that she's here, right?
If I may, how do you know her identity?
Cyrene, you can't ask the lady questions.
As the little hostage prophesied.
Oh no, okay.
The Deliverer shall come from the future beyond the sky.
Wait, that was the prophecy? That was... Have we heard that prophecy before? But also, if she's actually a hostage, then we know the whole Cerydra, we might have not be getting off the right foot here, okay? I don't abandon old friends for new friends. You okay, Tribi?
Gray hair, golden eyes, skilled in wielding a mace. They would arrive in Yanisopolis on this day. There's no mistake.
So the prophecy, yeah, we never heard that before. Tribi saw our arrival?
Your orders, Imperator.
Oh my freaking god. Why is this like legitimately top 3 design in the history of... I'm never gonna stop gushing over like how, like whoever designed this like needs to be like head of like art at Hoyo. It's incredible. It's so incredible. It's inspired.
We return triumphant. Send an urgent message to all delegates. The meeting of the Flame Chase Alliance will convene early. As for you two, Akama knows what you seek.
Please.
We'll confer in the Holy City.
I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. This is just it's this whole story has been incredible up to now. So I have the ultimate trust in Honkai Star Rail. But also, again, as I said, this meeting these new characters, these new personalities. We've seen so many personalities in the game, and still we're getting a new taste of a personality here. To me, Cerydra is a character who's so firm and tough, has so much strength, matter of fact, and has no fear in carrying out actions that other people might not want to carry out. She's the character that I believe that like people will follow to the ends of the earth because they've seen her go to the ends of the earth. That type of character. Such a cool character.
Doubtless you have many questions, but save them for later. Please follow us.
Yes, ma'am. Anything you say.
This is not what I expected at all.
Not Cyrene. I am gobsmacked. I am so shocked, but I'm so happy that I can't explain. I'm gonna die if I keep explaining it. I'm sorry, guys.
The demigod we needed to find was just waiting for us.
Yep.
And she knows of things beyond the sky. Even eons.
She knows about the eons as well. Like, this is so crazy. How everything fell into our lap almost.
How could this be so different from the previous 30 million Amphoreus cycles? Who altered history?
That's a good point as well. Lygus. So she's saying Lygus could have done this? Because what she's saying is like the fact that like in this cycle we instantly met up with Cerydra, Heceland, Tribi. The prophecy has changed. They know about Beyond the Sky. They know about eons. Like there's a lot of stuff here. March 7 or Don Hung is a crazy thing to say. I might say Lygus just to see what Cyrene says.
Unpleasant thought.
He's changed.
But plausible.
He's changed stuff before, right? Or at least he's shown us stuff before. But this is technically the final time, right?
The currents of time have become twisted. Regardless of who caused this, that Imperator came prepared. We're the ones at a disadvantage now.
Yeah, and she's so right about this. As much as like I'm gushing over these characters and gushing over Heceland and gushing over Cerydra, the problem is we have to like convince her to help us, right? And she now has all the leverage. She again, even though I think that like I agree, I love the message of like F the gods, F this or whatever, F the old regime, whatever. I love that type of stuff. There's no doubt about it that like we're coming at this from perspective of we need help. Okay, but I have all the leverage. I can literally do whatever I want here. Not that she would do whatever she wants, but she literally can. But it seems to me though as well that she wants something from us as well. The fact that she has given us kindness, which is so sick, but I don't care. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was shocking in the moment, and like I was kind of like feeling it a little bit, like oh my god, she killed someone for us. Like I'm just gonna say it outright. That's a sick story beat. That's a sick idea. Like, not sick isn't bad. That's like so cool. The idea that, like, again, a queen, which is what I'm kind of using as here, a lord or whatever, as a gift gives us like one of the most evil, hateful characters in history as a gift. Again, you don't have to agree with the morals of it. I don't have to agree with the morals of it. I'm talking about as a story beat. That's sick. That's so crazy, right? Someone giving you the body of your enemy to negotiate. Like, I'm sorry. It's just, it's such a cool idea. It's such a cool idea. And like, I have no feelings towards kindness, but hatred, so.
We might as well dance their dance.
Yeah.
Let's go with them to the holy city.
You're so right, Cyrene. Yeah, you're so right.
We've received the Imperator's favor because of your unique background.
Exactly.
As a result, the people of Akama will certainly respect you more.
Love it.
Just put that to good use and add a bit of your experience and charm.
Stella's a lot of charm as well. And again, this makes sense what Cyrene is saying, right? There's a reason she's negotiating with us. There's a reason why, not negotiating with, but like the reason why she's like giving us a gift as a peace offering. There's a reason why that she hasn't killed us. There's a reason why Heceland put her finger up to her mouth when we were trying to stop her. Instead of killing us, she could have killed us. She could have fought us. But she chose to put the finger in the mouth because, again, she sees us as valuable in some way, right?
Should be easier than last time, right? If we figure out what happened in this cycle, we'll be able to turn things back in our favor.
Lovely stuff, yeah. And all Flame Chase companions await in the Holy City. Oh my god! We can't do without your charm either.
Ah, so I'm the key? Since you insist, friend, I'll give it my all.
She's so sweet.
Guests, please.
Yes, I should. I don't have face cam, but I did the salute.
The journey to save the world starts with a single step.
So true. I love those type of expressions.
Let's set off, my friend.
This is so true. If you take that first step, it's the same thing with anything. If you're writing an essay, guys, the first word's the hardest, you know? Wait, were we just going right there?
Hail to the Emperor!
Oh my god.
Hail to the Golden Hero!
Look at this.
Hail to the Deliverer!
Hail to us.
Told you, you're the headline act. All this spectacle is for you.
Guys, I'm lightheaded how good this is.
Guards, your service to the Holy City is appreciated. How have things been?
I'm gonna not say how good her design is every single time. I'm just kind of like, every time I see it, I'm just kind of want to say something, but I'll try to refrain, guys. I will.
Castrum Kremnos once again struck the border. Dux Brumalis led her troops to repel the enemy.
Dux Brumalis.
The agitators against the Flame Chase are still active in the city. They smashed the shops around Memorial Market.
Oh.
But the garrison already arrested the culprits, and now they await
That's interesting because like in our time there was resistance against the Flame Chase journey, but it wasn't as accepted because people did respect a lot of the Flame Chrysos heirs, but then it became more of a thing where they started to get a bit like against it because of kindness. In this world, there's people who are like legitimately like in the streets doing stuff. And I think we heard about something like that before, right? I mean, if there's already cleaners, then of course there is like already resistance to the Chrysos heirs for sure.
They are merely a disorderly mob and do not warrant any attention. Even though Terravox personally mended the fractured earth, it still didn't silence these fools.
Demigod of Earth, Terravox. I do like how they're not sugarcoating this character, but I also like that in the first few minutes that we've known this character, like she's been like very much firm. She's very much like standing in place of like what her beliefs are, or at least like what her strengths are.
Guests from beyond the sky, worry not about these trivial matters. Dux Gladiorum will take you somewhere to settle down for now.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much, Your Highness. The hair's so cool.
Please allow me to belatedly introduce myself. My name is Heceland, and I am the Dux Gladiorum who swears fealty to the Imperator.
So cool.
As well as the Knight Commander of the Achaman Alliance.
Oh yeah, Knight Commander. Huge.
Later on, the Imperator will invite you to attend the meeting of delegates to discuss the Flame Chase journey. Your arrival has convinced us that the future promised by the prophecy is certain.
Wow.
Under the Imperator's command.
So we've like they're kind of like on this track now. Now that we've arrived, they're gonna stay on this track. Again, I love Heceland's voice actor as well. I love the kind of like inflection she has where it sounds like she's kind of being snarky, but really that's just how she sounds. I always love the idea of a character who doesn't know they're sounding snarky, but they are, you know, and then you have to explain to your friend, like, it's like, what, does Heceland hate me? It's like, no, that's just, don't worry about it. You know, that type of person.
Amphoreus shall break its chains and reach the world beyond the sky.
So the prophecy for them is that they're going to like literally break the chains and get out of here.
With all due respect, what exactly do you know about us and what's beyond the sky?
I would love to hear this as well.
As a humble subject, I cannot freely express my own views to you. Please forgive me.
You got 30 forgivenesses already. Okay, don't worry about it. You can use them every time you want.
I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Time waits for no one. Please come with me and rest now before the meeting later.
Akama, under the Imperator's rule, is no longer in the shadow of war.
Indeed, Dawncloud stands as the hero's residence. The Imperator put much thought into its design, in order for it to serve as a sanctuary from the burdens of battle.
Oh wow! And this is the thing. Like, we had her sounding kind of firm in her ideas. She's been very, like, you know, for the first few minutes we've met her, she's been very strong, very tough, very extreme in a way too. But then you also see, like, there's, again, this is good writing to me, the idea of like having like a hint of this. But what I like about her character is they didn't do it right away, right? We now get a little bit of a hint of like, okay, so she like wants them to have this place away from battles.
Please experience its marvels firsthand, heroes. When the Imperator arrives, I shall come to summon you.
We turned to her. She's so cool.
No wonder she's the Knight's commander.
Yeah, I agree. She's reassuringly discreet. She's also... Oh, they're talking about how she's not speaking, like telling secrets. I was more thinking how cool she is.
All right. We finally have some freedom to ourselves. Since there's still some time before the Alliance meeting, let's explore a bit. Look over there.
What is it? It's a Glyantry bee?
Not the ones you're familiar with.
Sure. Yes, sure.
But the hearts of heroes stay the same in every cycle, never changing.
Yeah, and I think that's something that ideals stay the same, right? Unless, like, of course, they're fine on going through multiple cycles, but that's different. So this is a perfect place to end this video, guys. I just being real with you guys so we can, like, have a little place to pause. But, I would apologize for gushing over Heceland's. I would apologize over gushing over the way that they've written Cerydra so far. But I'm not sorry. That's the thing. I'm so excited and I'm so energetic about what is happening here in this story that it's super difficult for me to not just gush over this. And I'm not going to hide my feelings. That would be very silly, right? I can try and not talk about Heceland's design every 2 minutes, but the problem is, I think it genuinely might be like a top... not might be, it is a top 3 favorite designs. I'm going to say this right now, in all of Hoyo. In all of Hoyo. And I think it is just because the color coding is perfect. The hair is it's the type of hair that if you saw someone that had that hair today, you'd be like, oh my god, who's your stylist? That is incredible, you know? The shoes are cool. Like, she has like this interesting like fish scale on her face and like this fish tank almost on her chest. These cool gothic black lace arms as well. The sick tights and the boots then together as well. And she's just so cool at the same time. And her voice actor is playing the character like the type of character that sounds snarky all the time but isn't snarky all the time. Like, I adore her character design. I adore it. And in all seriousness, like, if I had to rank like all Hoyo designs, right, I'm not gonna say the other ones, but top 3 easy, top 3 easily, for sure. This was a great start to a new act, and I have to praise the absolute heck out of Honkai Star Rail again. Let's find somewhere to stop and talk so I'm not like giving you guys the stomach pains. All this stuff here, by the way, guys, you guys keep telling me to keep the red stuff here, and I really don't like it. Like, I hate it. It doesn't annoy me at all. I know it annoys some of you. So, there we go. Kafka. Okay. So, just to give like an overview of my feelings on this, I think the Cerydra and Heceland stuff is incredible. I think that this is already exciting me to the point that I want to like run through a brick wall right now. I feel so energetic and happy that I got to play this game, because at the end of Act 5, when I was drained and I was dying and I was so upset and I was just destroyed and all this stuff in between, right? I come back for Act 6 and all of a sudden someone gave me a jolt of energy, and now my life is like forces back in this game once again. And I think it could be said about me enjoying the game, but also about the game itself. Feels like someone injected it once again, and they do this like every single freaking act in Amphoreus. It's incredible what they're able to do with the story, where it's like almost like you think it's an ending. It feels like an ending, and then they start a new beginning once again on from the ashes of that other ending. It's so incredible what they're able to do here. Side note, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm just staring at the TV screen, which is so funny because Kafka's just staring back at me and like, pressure, man, pressure. She's like, don't F this up. Don't F this post-discussion up, Calvin. And again, I'm not going to apologize for being so hyper today, because legitimately it is just a very exciting thing for me. It's so exciting. It's a whole new day with new characters. And here's the thing. I love the characters in Honkai Star Rail, and I would do anything to be around them all the time. But I think it's also fair to say that like in any game, right, when you're around a lot of characters for the longest time, you want to still be around them. But then when they inject new characters into the story, it's like, who's that? You know, who is that? Almost instantly. So it's hard for me not like, and I think you guys agree, right? You guys totally agree. It's like when we started on Amphoreus, we were with the Penacony characters for so long, right? And we loved them. We loved them dearly. We loved their characterization. We love Firefly. I would let you die for Firefly right now. But it's like also like a thing where the shiny new character is always going to be someone we want to know about. We're intrigued about them. We want to know their story. We want to know who they are. And the way they presented Heceland and Cerydra in this story makes me want to be around them every second of the day. They're so cool and so interesting. That's the thing. They look cool, but they're interesting. They're so interesting to the point it's like, I want to know everything about them. I really do. So let's try and go through everything we had in this episode so far. And it's funny because like I don't think a lot of scenes happened. If you actually think about it, I think if we count the scenes on what happened, I would say what, 4? Because there was the scene with at the start with Cyrene. There was a scene where with Lygus. And you could count the Cyrene stuff as like a couple of scenes. In a movie, it would be a couple of scenes, but it's all one area, like a location and moment, I guess you could say as well. Then the stuff with us going to Cerydra and Heceland's, and then us starting here at the end here. And we didn't get like a full scene out of the end part here. So, but there was a lot of stuff jam-packed into it. We talked to Cyrene, and Cyrene was basically saying that like her memories are like connected to us and to Mem, but it's fragmented. She remembers some stuff, but she doesn't remember other stuff. But she does remember us, right? And when it comes to us and the time we had with her, she's able to remember that stuff. And I think it's like a really, really obviously an important thing, right? It's the reason why we have such a chance here now is because the both of us have our memories. We have that head start, and we're obviously not Finon, who is poor Finon was corrupted in a lot of ways too. So there is like all other talks about the idea of like how she says her memories feel like they're encased in ice, and it's hard to like, you know, fully access them. We talk about how Lygus is dangerous, and how Lygus obviously still has something up his sleeve because he gave away so much, right? And that's what I think is so like smart of Cyrene and Stell to realize that, to be like, oh yeah, like if Lygus gave away so much at the end of that story, then there's obviously something else he has as well hidden, right? He's not going to give everything away right away. He's the type of character who keeps things close to his chest. As you said, he's the character that would, like, if you ask him, like, do you want a bacon sandwich? I'm making a bacon sandwich with a cup of tea. He would say, bacon from a pig. And you know what else a pig does? And you're like, okay, Lygus, calm down, okay? Do you want a freaking bacon sandwich? But yeah, we actually get to meet up with Herta and Screwllum kind of through like the anchor that we got there. And we have some like very interesting conversations here with them. They say that Nanook has basically gazed on this planet. And we saw this. We saw this with Finon. And now this like endlessly repeating extrapolation experiment that was stagnating seems to be in its like final stages. And if Iron Tomb is fully brought to the forefront here with the help of like whatever Lygus is doing here, what they've described is like all technologies would go back to like medieval times. They're going to level places, war, destroying areas, bringing places back to before technology was even a thing, it seems, as well. It's going to be like a really destructive thing. And obviously we can't have that. It's not something that's just going to affect Erudition, it's going to affect the whole entire world. And they say that Lygus doesn't have full control, because if he did, he, like, I think it's, what they say, if he did, he would, like, know it by now, right? Or he would be able to do something else. But it's clear he doesn't have control over Tantalon, or else he would be able to do a lot more. They say he even fears us, and I love Herta saying this, because when Herta and Screwllum say this stuff, and that's what's so good about this, Herta and Screwllum saying to us that Lygus fears us adds weight to what they're saying, and that type of statement. Because I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, people can be unreliable narrators and say stuff that isn't true sometimes, and, like, maybe they're mistaken sometimes, too. Two people from the Genius Society who, like, I'm not saying just because they're Genius Society their opinion carries more. I'm saying it's because it's them two. Those two who we can trust, that don't sugarcoat things, that get straight to the point. Yes, they can be charming at times too, but they get straight to the point of the situation, and they know the severity of these situations. He fears us because we are an unknown variable. They also said Finon is like an abnormality as the world-bearing Titan, or the one who's supposed to bear the world-bearing stuff. So now the logic of that world is kind of like gone, I guess, is what they're saying. Is that the way they said it? They also said the Finon is still, by the way, like fighting against the Black Tide, I believe. He's still fighting. He hasn't stopped. So while he has been absorbed by Iron Tomb, it seems that even in that form, he's merged by Iron Tomb. He's still fighting against the Black Tide, but he won't be fighting for long, as what Lygus was saying. Herta and Screwllum, they basically want us to go find Cerydra, Talaton, and obtain the core frame of law. This is so we can actually rewrite the rules of the Aranova, rewrite the protocol, because that's what Lygus can't do right now. And it's such a great idea, by the way. What a great idea for a story. The idea of like getting the Titan of Law and their core flame so we can rewrite Amphoreus. And it seems though, even though this place is like very much created, like a lot of the stuff is very much like real, right? In terms of like, it's physical, it's tangible, it actually does affect the world, because for the experiment to work, and any experiment to work, you can't just pretend there's fire in a pot. If you want to set something on fire during an experiment, you can't just pretend that you put a substance in a jar. You can't pretend. You have to actually do it to make the experiment work. So to make these experiments work, it seems like they've actually given these powers, like in reality, to a lot of these factors, these titans. And in the case of the Titan of Law, we have to obtain the Titan of Law core flame so that we can rewrite the Aranova and make it mean something different in the end. That's what I think we're doing, right? This idea that we're like going to basically mean the Aranova won't spread the Black Tide or bring back Iron Tomb in some ways, so that we can change that. And the idea of, like, again, as I said, this gives us so much weight. I love this scene. I love Herta and Screwllum both talking to Stell with faith, but with worry, sincerity, and also being straightforward, because they need to be, right? They need to be. But I love, once again, people are putting their faith in Stell, someone you can actually trust and put your faith in. Love it. Absolutely adore it. I think it's fantastic. In reality, like, a tension feels seen with excitement of what's going to be happening next at the same time too, while also having like a very how would I say it, like an emotional side to it as well when they were but it's like, again, it's emotional, but they don't betray Herta's character. The way Herta and Screwllum talk about our Astro Express buddies is very straightforward. It's matter of fact. Yes, Screwllum's more romantic about it, but like it's actually really beautiful in some ways too. But I love the way they do this, where like Herta's like, yeah, March is mysterious. Don't worry about it. She's gonna be fine. You know, I love that she says it like in such a weird way. Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, Don Hung is on his way back to the Astro Express, so he's still heading there. So the way time is going is different, I guess. Is that what they're saying? And in terms of the rest of the Astro Express, Screwllum says something that is so freaking true, and it's so beautiful, and it embodies why I love Herta, why I love Sunday, why I love Did I say Herta? Sorry, Himiko. So Himiko and Welt and all these characters. And Herta, I guess, as well, because she's matter of fact. But like the Trailblazers, the Astro Express members. The reason why I love them so much is because they are such a positive force in Stell's life. And they do feel like parents to Stell. And just like regular parents and good parents, what do they say? They're worrying more about us than we are about them. And I think and again, that can be hurtful sometimes when you hear like, oh, are my parents all right? Well, they're worried sick. And sometimes as a child, especially when you have good parents, that can be painful. You know, when you do something wrong, you do something bad. Like, let's say you go like drinking where you shouldn't have, or you do something you shouldn't have. And sometimes it's one of those situations where like, if your parents then say to you like, hey, you maggot, what the hell? Get upstairs. It almost makes you more defiant in a way. But if I was doing something like I wasn't supposed to, and it was like dangerous or something, and then like my parents would be like, yeah, they're worried about you right now. They want to know you're okay. I would get a feeling in the pit of my stomach. And some parents can use that for manipulation. But I'm talking about good parents who are just like, I just want to know you're okay, right? Not even overbearing parents, you know. And in a way, like I think it's so like it does put a lot more weight on this situation, because now we're in a situation where we're like, yes, we have a job to do, but also it's almost like our responsibility is even higher now. It's not only save the world, but to make sure we get back to Welt and Himiko, not Helton and Wimiko. Helt and Wimiko. What an alternate universe. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like the responsibility is now not only to the world, but also to make sure that our dad and mom doesn't worry about us. I don't know. I think it's kind of sweet in a way. I think it's a really sweet moment in a dangerous situation. Before we get to the stuff with like Lygus and stuff like that too, they talked about the idea that like, yeah, Finan is still fighting the Black Tide. We've already saved so many worlds, and I love that like this is where the perspective that Cyrene is coming from is like, hey, the way to give you confidence is not to say that everything's going to be perfect, but the fact that you've already fought so many things. Again, I love that they bring this up. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous situation, but Cyrene acknowledging the fact that like, hey, you helped save countless planets before. You know what I mean? You fought so many dangerous creatures. That's putting faith in ourselves. And if we were shook before, if our character was shook before, it helps them get motivated, right? You can have imposter syndrome sometimes, but like I think it's important to acknowledge, and I love that this world acknowledges. Not only do the Trailblazers have a weight that their word carries on this world, but also the Trailblazers have Stell herself now is becoming more popular and more of a celebrity. And I think it is one of those situations where like Stell is like loved by so many people because she's done so much for so many people. Whether that be the people on Belobog or the people in Zan Show or Penacony, you know what I mean? There's like, I think Stell could like say ouch, and then like, you know, if it was in earshot, you'd have like Firefly, you know, Himiko, Welt, Don Hong, March, Aventurine, Kafka, you'd have like, you know, Sela, Bronya, all these characters like running, right? They would run to make sure everything was okay. And that's just because like we are playing as a character and they embody this here that has done so much for so many people. And I love that they reference this here. Lygus starts talking to us in his little, his little like playroom. And like, he's on iPad time right now. And he's like looking at all his iPads. He describes this deal that he wants us to take. Or first he describes what world we're in. The world we're in, which is called Examoth. He's basically saying that this world is an in-between the world between our universe in the real world and the kind of simulated world that we're in right now. And he kind of tries to make this deal with us that he would basically say that everyone's going to be safe if we allow him to, or join with him and kind of like get out of his way. And that's what he wants. I think he wants us to get out of his way more than anything. And I think that's one of those things where if in any situation where you're about to be in a fight, boxing, anything otherwise, any big uphill battle, and there's a competition, if the competition just comes to you saying like, I'm not worried, I'm gonna win, but then I'll decide them out to go, how about I pay you $20 though to leave the fight? That to me is a clear sign to anyone who's ever like been in a competition, like, and not that it happens all the time where you get bribed, but like it's a clear sign of like no, let's take it another level. The fact that any character would come up to you and say, hey, I'm gonna win this, so you probably shouldn't even bother. That's a sign to me of being like, oh, so they think I have a chance. You know what I mean? Almost instantly. You know, if you like, let's say 2 basketball players. Yeah, you should probably drop out of this competition, buddy. Drop out of this game. You've no chance. You're like, you have no chance. Okay, you just told me I have a chance. You know what I mean? I kind of love that. But yeah, he kind of wanted to make a deal with us, basically saying that he would not only tell us what March's identity is, but keep everyone safe. And then also he said at the same time too, he would teach us how to harness the Pathstrider of destruction, our Pathstrider powers. Where we kind of knew the outcome of this, and I do like this scene because I feel like it allows the players and my frustration to come out in Stell as well, her telling him to shut up and all this stuff too. But I think it's a really good scene just to have like Lygus and Stell have a confrontation, because I think it's like almost like it shows Lygus where Stell stands, and then it shows Stell where or reaffirms for Stell where she wants to stand. So Lygus kind of knows now she's probably not going to back down from this, so he can act accordingly in that way. He knows that has a fire in her eyes. He knows that she's not going to back down for this, and I think it's actually like a really great way of showcasing that by having him like offer a deal and then almost instantly with one line understanding, okay, he's not dumb, like being like, okay, I understand where you are at this point. I think they wrote Lygus' character in an incredible way. I despise him. I don't think I've ever despised a character. No, that's not true. Like, in Hoyo games, we definitely despised characters before that were worse. Rashir, we've despised. I don't like Totori in Genshin. It's not Rashir. What was his name? The one who did all the crazy stuff in Fontaine. I forget his name. There's characters in Honkai Star Rail who have done horrific stuff. Like, Kokolia, like, factually is just, like, a really horrific person she was. That was corrupted, but she did do horrific stuff, you know? So I don't want to say like, oh, I despise Lygus more like than some other characters, but I do have like a very big frustration towards him. And to me, like, I don't think it's unintentional that I'm supposed to be frustrated by him. And that's why I think it's actually really well written and really well voice acted. The fact that he believes truly that we need to hear every syllable enunciated like he's trying to teach us how to speak, it can't be accidental. You know what I mean? It can't be. This voice actor chose the decision to make this character like the most like arrogant, the most like up his own circuitry that you could ever find. And it's also the fact as well that like we know he's smart, we know he's intelligent, and that's like one of those things where we can't deny that Lygus is so smart. We can't deny that Lygus up to this point has been doing some stuff that is like that you couldn't even fathom. But that doesn't change the fact that he like makes me want to like scream sometimes. And like I'm not like opposed to that. I don't think every character needs to make you feel just bad or just good. I think it's okay to have a character that also just makes you go, "Oh my god, I want to scream because you're annoying." You know? I don't think it's a bad thing to have an annoying character, especially when the voice actor I think is trying their best to do a voice that is so like grand and huge, and they almost recalibrate before every word, forcing you to sit and listen to him. But yeah, another interesting scene with Lygus. I think he's intentionally supposed to be frustrating and makes my blood boil. We then had one of my favorite things that's ever happened in this series, and that is meeting Cerydra and Heceland. I don't know if I've said this before, but Heceland is one of the best designs in the history of video games. It's probably my first time saying it, but whenever I see her, I just legitimately get happy just because I'm like, this is just art. This is just pure art. It's such an incredible design. It's so pretty, and it's such a great design. And what was so cool about this scene that we dropped in on was we were about to witness an execution, basically. We witnessed an execution, and they didn't hold back with this. Cerydra shows up. She looks like this Yu-Gi-Oh villain, which again I show as a compliment, like an anime villain from the mid-2000s. And she burns this guy alive in front of us. And then she talks about the idea of the stuff beyond the stars, the stuff beyond our skies, like as if like they know stuff about from beyond this world. And that's obviously instantly shocking because like it's like not instantly shocking. It took me a second because like, oh yeah, they're talking about stuff from beyond the stars and the Deliverer, all this stuff here. To me, it's like it's a great way of introducing a character, and I think this is the true introduction for Heceland, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think this is the true, like, this is her introduction. And we tried to stop this burning from happening. And this is why I say it's her true introduction. Heceland darts across the room as if it's her life that depends on it. And it probably does, because she's a knight commander, which is like a high ranking in the army. It is like, you're like top notch. She runs over to us and does the coolest effing thing I've ever seen in my freaking life. She puts her finger over our mouth, and in an instant, that tells us so much about Heceland. She's not just some cold-blooded knight commander. She's not just someone who's going to kill indiscriminately. She's not someone who's there to hurt us. She can. And that's what I love about that. The fact that she got over to us so quickly. It showcases she can. If she wanted to, she could take out that sword and start fighting, right? But she didn't. And to be honest, that's sometimes scarier. You know, like the way Finon took the weapon away from us when we started from Don Hung when we started this whole journey. That's almost scarier and more impressive than a character that would just walk up to you and stab you. You know what I mean? That's almost like, whoa, they can do that. But I think it's honestly a really like incredible introduction for her. Cerydra with her outfit, and again her brightness, but also like her personality is so incredible to me, because it's so different from other characters in me. Because even Aglaya, who's like, I will, do this, and she's very firm and she has great presence about her. Cerydra's presence is different, because it feels like Cerydra is kind of like more dangerous, trying to prove a point a bit more. A little bit on edge sometimes, maybe in a way too, but she's also like very firm in who she is and her command. And I think what the difference is, when Aglaya's like, I'm going to execute you, it feels, when she said it to us, it's like now we know looking back that like, oh, she's not actually telling the truth. But with Cerydra, when she's like, I'm going to execute you, I believe her, right? Cerydra's the type of person that stands up like in the middle of a room and says, okay, one of you is going to die, and everyone panics. You know what I mean? She, like, even if you think for a second, like, oh, this person's just crazy, she has that presence about her. She sets fire to this guy, and then she calls us and says that we are like the chosen ones. Or not the chosen, we are the deliverer from beyond the sky, which is kind of like a chosen one in a way. And the prophecy, for some reason, that has changed, and Triby's there too as some sort of prisoner. The prophecy has changed somewhat to be the deliverer will come from beyond the skies and be able to, like, with silver hair and be able to, like, wield a mace. So she knew we were coming, and she was waiting here for us to arrive. And why that changes some things is because now we have this feeling of like, why is it different this time? Why is it mentioning us specifically? Is it because we took over for Finon? That could be the case. It could be think that because we taken over for Finon, the actual prophecies changed in some ways. And so that unknown variable aspect of ourselves has changed something too. But yeah, this is a really like intriguing and interesting introduction to these characters, because already we have like, oh my god, they're so dangerous. Oh my god, they're so cool. Why did they know about this stuff beyond the sky? Oh, they know about the eons? Like, you know about the eons as well? Like, all this stuff makes these characters so... like, you want to hear more from them. You want to talk to them. You want to take an interest in them. I think that's what's so powerful about them as well. Then she does something that solidifies her character and who she is to me. And again, I don't think she's wrong for doing this. I don't think she's wrong at all. She drops the dead carcass of kindness right in front of us. I know and she talks about the future timelines as well. I know you're gonna get annoyed by this girl in the future. She's gonna do some bad stuff to you. There you go. Look what I did for you. I killed her in this timeline. So we know now that her personality is willing to go that far. We know she burned someone alive and burnt them to a crisp, and we also know that she killed kindness like that way, which again, kill kindness, whatever. We all wanted to do it once in our life. That's just like a common thing. It's about part of growing up. But it shows to me that she is willing to go that extra mile, and we know that now. And we're aware of that. But it also shows that she has some interest in us. And we know that's because of the prophecy, of course. But she has an interest in keeping us alive and keeping us safe. So in a way, we gained a companion in a weird way, but she also gained a lot of leverage over us. Because now that we know that at any moment, Heceland could come up and just put her finger over our mouth again, but this time it could be a knife. We know that Cerydra will go as far as possible to like do whatever she can to defend her rebellion or whatever she's doing as well. Right? We know this. So now we have an issue where we're like, we were supposed to convince her of this and ask for a favor. But to her, there's two things. She could just say, I already gave you a favor. I killed the person that's going to kill a guy in the future. I killed the person that's going to give you so much trouble in the future. She's already exchanged. She's already given us a gift. You know what I mean? And I know it's a difficult way to look at it, but like in her eyes, that probably was what she would think. But also, she has a lot of power. And again, she's willing to take that extra step. She's willing to do it. And I'm not saying she's going to kill us, but I'm saying that if I'm Stella and Cyrene, I'm thinking, we just dropped into the lap of this character who's willing to just burn people alive and kill people as a gift. There is a worry there. You know, there is a feeling of like, well, is she going to do that to me? You know what I mean? Like, even though I know she probably won't, but it's just such an interesting way to introduce a character, such a dangerous way, such a different way of introducing a character. Hey, here's a dead body. She annoyed you, right? You know? Can you imagine that in modern times? I'm so sick of Johnny. He's always annoying me. Two days later, my friend comes along. Here, this the guy you wanted? Please leave me alone. People sometimes I suppose do that, but like as offerings in a way, as a way of like gaining our trust as well. Like, what an interesting character. What an interesting character trying to gain our trust through killing kindness, you know? And in a way, it's not even a deal for us because it's not she didn't do something for us. She did something for the world by killing kindness. So in a way, the world owes her now. So everyone should line up and give her like a pat on the back or a present in some ways. But then she also like presents herself as like a really cool queen. She holds that chest piece over her head, which is so cool. And like she has this presence about her where like Heceland and her together, the aura is crazy. And I don't mean in like a silly way. I mean just like they have this like reverberating feeling around them where it's like Cerydra has this command over her people and this admiration that they have for her. But she also has this very like interesting quality that you see in like in movies and good queens, right? Where she's like very firm, she's very tough, she's very strong, she's very matter of fact. And then she turns to us and goes like, and she's like very like diplomatic. It's so interesting, and what a great way to write the character. And then because Heceland's beside her, it adds more weight to her as well, where she feels like this almost like bodyguard, obviously this knight commander. So that together they have this presence about them that's so powerful. I cannot wait to learn more about these characters. I'm so intrigued about what their knowledge is of stuff beyond the stars and the eons and stuff like this too. I'm so excited for this, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thanks so much for supporting me, and thanks so much for being so cool always. Believe it or not, you are cool, and you're amazing. Thank you. I want to say thank you to... Well, first I want to say that actually, I will say thank you in a second to my patrons and my YouTube members. But first I want to say, if you want to get these videos early, you can get these videos for €1 or whatever is in your currency on both Patreon and YouTube members. That's the lowest tier, and that's for the entire month is €1 or whatever is in your currency. This video came out this week on Tuesday. And you're going to get to see that as well, or you did just see that as well, I should say. If you want to see Honkai Star Rail early, you can see it on YouTube members or on Patreon, and that is for €1 or whatever is in your currency. That's the lowest tier, and that's for the entire month. You get every Honkai Star Rail video early. And this video came out on Tuesday, I believe. It came out Tuesday. If you want to see your name go across the screen in the text credits that's going by right now, that is €10 or whatever is in your currency. And if you want your name read out verbally at the end of every single video, that will be €15 or whatever it is in your currency. I want to say thank you so much to the patrons, first of all, at the highest tier. Ty Pharaoh 2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Delicious Felix, Yuld, Anusta, Yisassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jerebianum, Neo Showerite, Leah 200, Malcolm Kunde, and then the highest tier of my YouTube, Royal Gamer 7, Blasco, and Lucinagi. See you guys soon. Bye-bye!